Hello, love. Welcome to my channel, I guess, if you are new here. If you've been here before, hi, welcome back. It's been a while, I guess. I kind of wanted to talk a bit more about social media management work, just because I've learned, I think, so much in the last 8? I don't remember how many months. However long I started working. Well, I guess volunteering, yeah. I mean, it's still work. Whatever. Moving on. But I have learned a lot going into this, and it's been like a really, I feel like, big journey, so to speak. But yeah, I currently work for 2 clients, which is awesome, and I didn't think I'd ever get to the point of having a secondary client, let alone a first one, actually. I didn't know social media management was something I was going to do. Anyways, um, but yeah, I'm working for 2 clients. One client I do YouTube, TikTok, a secondary YouTube channel, and I used to do Instagram for. Um, Currently, I I think what happened with the YouTube channel is we built it. The first one, the main channel, we built from a starting point, and then the secondary channel, it was built from like ground up, ground zero. Um, Actually, I don't think she didn't want to do a VOD channel when we first started, but then we ended up doing it, and now it's the first monetized YouTube channel that I've ever had the like fucking gratification, I guess, to have seen through and watched happen. Like fucking play by play from 50 followers to 300 to 1,000 to watching the watch hours go up really high. Like it just, oh, it blows my fucking mind. It blows my mind. But you know, that happened recently. The channel got, she got partnered, and that's fucking amazing. She's a YouTube partner now and officially can monetize her videos, and that's just fucking so cool. So the VOD channel is really doing well, and I'm very proud of it. I think it's definitely one of those things where, like, when it comes to VODs, things are coming out that are relevant because, you know, you're playing things on stream that are relevant at the time, and then you're uploading it like 2 days later or a day later. That's also, it means it's relevant for the time, so people are looking up whatever you put in the title, and, you know, not, you know, click worthy, and they're looking at it and they're just like, oh, okay, let me just, because this is something that's relevant, this is exactly what's going on. That happened with quite a few. I think it was like 2 or 3 other videos that went up, and they got over like 1,000 views, and, you know, my client was so surprised. It's like, people actually watch VODs, you know, because normally the views are around, like, I want to say 10, or at least starting out it was like 3 to 10, and then as we went along it was like 30, 40ish, maybe 20, let me lower that, maybe like 20 to 30ish. And then, you know, there was one pop off video that she still doesn't know, I still don't fully know why it popped off. Maybe it was because of relevancy, maybe it was because of something, I don't know, maybe it was a tag, you know, like, no idea, but it popped off a while ago, and then another one popped off recently, on the 17th of April, and that one got like 5,000 views, which was really great, and I realized it was because of the relevancy, because she was playing Marvel Rivals, and Emma Frost had come out, and she put Emma Frost in the title, which means it was searchable, and it was a keyword search, it was just easy to, you know, and just the video popped off within the first 24 hours, and I was like, oh my god, that's fucking phenomenal. The channel ended up with like at 1,000 by like the next few days. It was fucking insane, fucking wild. So now, like, the videos are going from like the 20 standard to average about 50, and that's like fucking, let's go. I'm very happy about it. As you can tell, I'm very pleased with how that happened. Just the relevancy of it. I'm really glad that I knew that sort of thing could happen. And now I feel like I can recommend it to other creators. Feel like your VODs are relevant. You know, it's not, I feel like it's just something that, like, one, people, if they're looking at the VOD channel, they're looking at the name, they know it's going to be a long and unedited VOD of talking and chatting and all of that, and they know what they're there for, you know? And a lot of the time when you're watching a stream or you have a VOD up, you just leave it on. It's in the background, you're kind of listening, kind of not, you're paying attention whenever something interesting comes up, you're skipping through, kind of looking for something in particular. And that, you know, that gains retention. It may not be like constant, it may not be actual viewership, but it is people keeping the VOD open, keeping it to where, you know, it's playing, and that goes into public watch hours. And I love that sort of thing. It's very interesting to me because we post a lot more, we post a lot more on the VOD channel because it's going up with every stream that she does. She has about 4 or 5 streams a week. So that's 4 to 5 VODs a week, depending on what's going on in the life of the character. Sorry, the client. That means there's consistency, and then there's also relevancy because everything goes up as things are currently relevant, because it's what's relevant on stream and everything, and you know, so relevancy, consistency, and as we go along, the viewership kind of slowly, gradually went up. And then we'd have a few pop-off videos, and it's very interesting kind of how that works and how that plays through. I'd love to kind of see more of that. I kind of want to do a study on like people who play games as they come out and the hype of the game, and if the hype is good, then they play the game on stream, then the VOD goes up, and see how that does based on the relevancy that way. And that just means that, like, when it comes to the stream and the setup, it doesn't just, like, whatever you're doing for your stream, it doesn't just affect your stream, it affects your VOD channel. So if you have a poor quality stream, you're going to have a poor quality VOD channel. And so having that high quality stream that my client has, it just kind of elevates the VODs, I think, in a way that makes it entertaining to listen to all the way through and watch all the way through. And you're not just there for the gameplay, you're there for the person. So, and then I feel like for the main channel, it's kind of the same in a sense, but because it is edited, you're mostly there for the gameplay and the edits, and not as much for the person, because you're not getting to know that person very well. Which I feel like a lot of people undervalue personification of things. But yeah, anyways, moving on. But yeah, no, the VOD channel is just popped off that the last few months, couple months, and that was really cool to see and witness. So I'm very excited about that. Now I'm going through and checking for all the copyright and erasing all the songs in the background that we left in because we didn't know it was going to be monetized so quickly. But yeah, I'm going through doing all that. It's like 4 to 11 hours depending on which thing, which is fucking ridiculous. But that's rendering, bro. It's fucking insane. But yeah, no, it takes a long time. I gotta keep the tab open, make sure everything is going as planned. I can only do one at a time. So if there's a VOD that has multiple like songs in it, you can only erase one song at a time. So like if it takes 11 hours for that one song, you're gonna have to wait that whole 11 hours to start erasing the next one. Which is fucking insane, but whatever, moving on. But yeah, so that happened there, and then the main channel, of course, I've learned a lot through the main channel, I can't lie. I think the main channel is where most of my learning kind of has been. Understanding how shorts work and how we really have such a small window of capturing the attention of people and audiences nowadays. Like, what the fuck? Y'all's attention spans are goldfish, bro. Goldfish. And I'm so sad because I'm also I'm at fault for this, you know? But it's one of those things where I again, like almost every video, even if it's a short video, I'm putting it up in the background. I'm doing other things while I'm watching the video. I'm not just watching the video to watch the video. Sometimes I am, but it's a very, thin line there. Like if it's a video about crafting or experiments or something like that, I'm watching the video all the way through. I'm trying to kind of get a grasp for what's happening in the video. But if it's a video of like gameplay or whatever, I'm just listening, because that's what I do on Twitch. I'm listening to the person play a game. I like hearing what they have to say about it and the reactions, and but in this case I can rewind, and if something happens, like they scream or whatever, I can go back and be like, why did you scream? What happened? Whereas on TwitchBot I can't do that, I have to ask. But yeah, no, I find that really interesting, that the attention span is just so low. So getting people to stay all the way through a video is like fucking impossible. And yet people can handle staying all the way through a short because they know it's a short. They know it's a short, you know, like it's fucking weird. People are weird. Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, the videos on there have been very interesting. I've learned about the preference of the client a lot, which has been, I think, one of the things I struggle with. One of the things I definitely, because I came into what I was working, how I was working, by being like, hey, you want to get yourself out there, you want to grow your community and stuff, you should post on other social media. And I started being like, okay, I'm just going to take, if you allow me, I'm just going to take your VODs and put them up on a channel and whatever. And then she started hiring editors, and I was like, okay, well, you know, we'll work with them and make sure that these videos, and then I'll make sure those videos go up on the channel. I just started helping out where I could, where I knew how, because I've been studying it and everything and trying to learn as much as I can, and it was a learning experience for me, so it was, you know, very, like, both beneficial to both parties, I think. She got the experience of being in front of new people and more people, and hopefully growing her Discord and Twitch community, while I got the experience of just learning the ins and outs, the back end, the buttocks of content creation. And it's been so fun. I cannot lie, it's been so much fun to do. And maybe that's just the nerd in me or something. Maybe I'm just too geeky. Maybe it's the autism thing. I'm just hyper-focused on a hyperfixation. But, like, it's been really interesting to kind of be like, oh, that's why that happened. Oh, this video did better than this video because of blank. Be it timing, or because her face was, or her imagery was in the cover, or X, Y, and Z, or maybe it was a tag or a title thing or something like that. So it's very interesting to me. I found that, like, if you're playing a game, it is a lot better to include that game in your keyword search, in your description, and as a tag, because without it, it's like that it's invisible almost. So she'll be, I don't know, maybe it'll be a short, right? And in the background, you're in the Fortnite lobby, but you're just talking. It's just a talking with chat video. I put in the description that it's a talking with chat video. It's some sort of, like, just talking video or whatever. I don't put Fortnite in the tags or in the description at all. When I do that, the video gets significantly less views than if I were to put Fortnite lobby or Fortnite into the tags. Even though we're not talking about Fortnite, but it's in the background, you know? If once I put that there, the video goes up about a lot more. We might not get full, but, like, you know, these people that are expecting Fortnite are getting something else. So maybe some of them are clicking off, but most of them are watching it all the way through just to see what's happening. And that's, I think, really interesting. So that was a cool learn. That was mostly for shorts, though. When it comes to the main channel videos, it's been kind of hot and cold because she has, like, different editors and stuff, and everything comes out at specific times. It's very hard to kind of navigate what people like, especially since they don't really tell you. It's a lot of, like, compliments on our model or critiques on our gameplay, but it's never like talking about how I don't like this or I don't like that. There are, like, the few when we first started that, like, they'll tell you about the editing. They're just like, this is too loud, this is too much, this is da-da-da. And I'm like, thank you, you've helped me, now I know what to tell the editors. But yeah, no, I just find it very interesting. I'd definitely like to learn a bit more about, like, because I feel like, because consistency is such a huge thing, having an editor that can be consistent is a huge thing. But because we have multiple and they don't communicate at all, it's like, how do I sustain that consistency? And so I started really throwing myself into branding. The colors, the fonts, they should all be similar. You should have similar transitions and whatever. And I'm trying to like figure out a way to like propose this as an idea of sorts to the editors and being like, hey, I want there to be some sort of consistency between all of the videos. And I know you all have different editing styles and whatnot. I'm not asking you to change your editing styles or whatever, your time frames, whatever, I don't care. But like making sure that you have specific imaging and you have specific fonts and maybe specific graphics. You already have a specific sensor noise because she is a cybernetic VTuber. So it's very like, you know, there's a robotic noise. Like having these things that kind of make it stand out to people, being like, why did that happen? What's the lore there? What's going on? Which is something that we also don't have on the main channel, is that people don't know who she is. They don't know why she has a cybernetic sensor audio. They don't know why, because she doesn't look like a cybernetic person. She just looks like a person. So, like, why would that be happening? What's going on here? And it's like, with a video, we can't just, especially when she doesn't have the time to, like, do intros and stuff. It's not like we can just introduce her every video, being like, hey, I'm a cybernetic VTuber that does da-da-da-da on Twitch, check me out, but first, let's watch this video, and da-da-da. Like, you know, like, we don't have that. We don't have an intro, we don't have an outro. We don't have a insert card for the merch and stuff like most people do. Like, we don't have any of that. And it's like, I don't know how to bring that up, but also I'm also, you know, it's just like, it's just one of those things. But I find it very interesting. There's so much I think I would do differently in a sense, mostly because I don't really care about the like gaining a following and the views and stuff like that. If I were to do my own channel, I definitely focus more on like how I get content out and less on whatever the people want. I don't care what they want. I don't want to know what I want, but I don't care what they want. If they don't like it, then again, I'm just kidding. But I mean, I do the same thing on this channel. Like, I only post whenever I feel like posting, or whenever I'm done talking to myself and taking the time to like look at it and be like, yeah, okay, well, I don't actually want to hear my voice today, so I'm just gonna post it as it is, you know. But yeah, no, I don't do much of that. So it's like, I think there are things I do differently, but the reason why I do the reason why I would do them differently is the key factor here. But yeah, no, it's been a really interesting experience to learn everything that I have. Oh my god, and the graphics, making graphics, that is a fun creative outlet. I'm not gonna lie to you, because technically there are templates out there that I could use and stuff like that, and I've like done a few like miniature recreations of things, but it's also been like, I have to figure out how to do that recreation, you know, and I have to figure out how to like make something interesting and a bit unique and more brand specific based off of her or my other client, and that's been really fun. So making graphics and stuff has been a really interesting experience. So be it like the one-of-one graphics for like Instagram or Reels or whatever have you, because the client that I have, the first client, the one with the 2 YouTube channels, she gets a lot of art done, and with that comes a lot of possibilities for graphics and graphic design, and I really love that, because it's just like, you know, give me a game and I have a bunch of artwork to choose from of her, and I can place her in like the game, I can place her in that game's world, make it look like she belongs there, like she fits there. I love that so much. It's so fun, it's so cool. And I just have a lot of references to kind of work off of. So I liked making graphics for her, for sure. Kind of sad that the whole Instagram thing isn't happening anymore, because that's kind of where my outlet was. If I wanted to make a graphic, I would do that. Like, I'd made a graphic based on the merch that she has. because I just thought it was cool and I wanted to, so I did. But yeah, no, I've been doing that lately. I've made a few stream graphics as of late for my clients and for people that I don't work with. And then made a few flyers recently for my second client. Been like movie nights, or I guess it was a show watch party thing flyer. And then another flyer for his collab stream that's happening soon. So that's really cool. I've been kind of working on that, learning that I really like palettes. They are so helpful. Palettes are so helpful. Having 3 random colors is just, I can't do it. I can't do that unless you give me some sort of consistent palette, please, for fuck's sakes. Having random colors is so hard because you don't know how to, like, because you have to add the contrast with black and white, and that doesn't always look good. It looks tacky, and I don't like tacky. So having like a color palette where I can kind of be like, okay, you like pink, yellow, and blue, right? Let's go through these shades of pink, these shades of blue, these shades of yellow, these shades of gray, and make sure that we have some darks and some lights and some mid-tones. You have your warm tone colors, your cool tone colors, you know, that whole thing.